Hello, everyone. This is Jimmy Kimmel. Welcome to Kimmel in Focus. What I'm about to tell you today isn't just another legal update. It's a moment that could redefine Donald Trump's future and shake the foundations of American justice. The Supreme Court has just delivered a ruling so unexpected, so powerful, that it has reportedly sent Trump's legal team into complete panic. The Supreme Court has now unleashed a legal shockwave so massive that it has completely destabilized the ground beneath Donald Trump. What we are witnessing is a historic turning point, one almost no one anticipated, and the consequences for Trump may be severe. According to multiple reports, this decision has left Trump and his attorneys stunned, scrambling, and unprepared for what comes next. Before we break down exactly what just happened and why this moment is so dangerous for Trump, take a brief second to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and hit the like button. If you want real analysis that goes beyond headlines and digs into what's really happening inside the justice system, you're in the right place. The next 72 hours could change everything. Now let's break this down. In a ruling that legal scholars are already calling unprecedented, the Supreme Court has ordered Donald Trump to immediately hand over financial records, private business communications, and sensitive internal documents materials his own legal team reportedly did not even realize were being targeted. This was not a routine procedural ruling. This was not a technical rejection. This was the highest court in the country pulling back the curtain on a sealed grand jury investigation that has been operating entirely in secret for more than a year, parallel to every publicly known case involving Trump. And now, for the first time, the public knows it exists. There were no oral arguments broadcast on television, no advance notice to the press, no opportunity for Trump to prepare a media response. One moment, Trump believed he understood every legal threat in front of him. The next moment, he learned that a completely separate legal battle had already made its way to the Supreme Court without his ability to shape the narrative. This is not simply about adding another case to Trump's growing legal troubles. This is about the court confirming that prosecutors have been pursuing evidence so sensitive, so consequential, that the entire proceeding had to remain sealed. To understand how serious this is, you need to understand how rare this process is. Normally, Supreme Court cases are fully transparent, dockets are public, arguments are scheduled months in advance, legal briefs are available for journalists and scholars to analyze. But in extremely rare circumstances, typically involving national security or classified intelligence, the court can operate entirely under seal. Historically, this power has been used sparingly. The fact that it was used here tells you everything you need to know about the stakes. According to the ruling released on December 7th, this sealed process began more than a year ago, when a grand jury issued a subpoena demanding Trump's financial records, internal business communications, and documents tied to matters described by the court as being of significant national concern. Because the subpoena was sealed, Trump was legally prohibited from speaking about it. His attorneys were bound by the same restrictions. The entire legal fight unfolded in total silence. Trump challenged the subpoena using familiar arguments: executive privilege, immunity, overreach. But those arguments failed, first in lower court, then in the appellate court, and now, finally, at the Supreme Court. The opinion, written by Chief Justice John Roberts, makes one thing crystal clear. The documents being sought involve conduct that falls completely outside any reasonable claim of presidential immunity. The court further stated that Trump's legal avenues for delay have been exhausted and that compliance is now mandatory. Legal analysts reviewing the language say the ruling strongly suggests this investigation is separate from the classified documents case, separate from the January 6th prosecution, and separate from the Georgia election interference case. In other words, this appears to be an entirely new legal front, one that Trump didn't see coming. This is what makes the ruling so different from Trump's past Supreme Court losses. When the court rejected his immunity arguments earlier this year, everyone knew it was coming. The process was public. The timeline was predictable. The same was true when the court ruled in 2020 that Trump's tax returns could be obtained by New York prosecutors. That battle played out openly for years. Even during Watergate, Nixon knew the tapes case was coming. He had time to prepare. This time, Trump had no warning. According to reporting, Trump's attorneys learned about the ruling through breaking news alerts. Sources describe chaos inside Mar-a-Lago, with lawyers scrambling to figure out which documents were covered and how fast compliance was required. And here's the critical detail. The deadline is 72 hours, 3 days. The court went even further, explicitly warning that failure to comply fully and in good faith could result in immediate contempt proceedings, including potential detention. Legal experts say this language is extraordinary. It signals a court that has completely run out of patience. Trump's usual strategy, attack, delay, delegitimize, has no room to operate here. There are no appeals left, no procedural tricks remaining. The order is final. That's why this moment is so dangerous. If Trump complies, he hands prosecutors evidence that could open the door to entirely new criminal exposure. If he refuses, he risks being held in contempt by the Supreme Court itself. Either path carries serious consequences. Before we dig deeper into what these documents may contain, take a moment to support the channel. Like the video, leave a comment, and share this story. This is how we keep real analysis alive. So what exactly are prosecutors demanding? According to the ruling, the subpoena covers 3 major categories. First, comprehensive financial records going back to 2015, including foreign transactions, loans, and property valuation communications. Legal analysts say this scope suggests interest in far more than routine fraud. It points toward potential money laundering or undisclosed foreign income. Second, communications with foreign nationals whose identities remain redacted due to national security concerns. That alone has raised alarm bells among experts. Third, and most explosive documents related to obtaining things of value from foreign sources in connection with electoral activity. That language closely mirrors federal statutes prohibiting foreign involvement in U.S. elections. Trump's legal team now faces an impossible task, gathering years of documents, reviewing them for privilege, and producing them within 72 hours while knowing the court will not tolerate delay. Sources describe emergency meetings, internal panic, and even discussions about attorney withdrawal. Prosecutors, meanwhile, are reportedly not guessing. They have cooperating witnesses who already know what documents should exist. Any missing records will be noticed immediately. According to reports, Trump's reaction has been explosive public attacks on the court, accusations of corruption, and threats of non-compliance. Legal experts warn these statements could be used as direct evidence of willful defiance. That leaves Trump boxed in. Comply and expose himself. Defy and face contempt. Delay and trigger sanctions. This is not just another legal setback. This is a moment that could redefine Trump's legacy, his campaign, and his future. A former president confronted by the highest court in the land, with no appeals left and a ticking clock. The next 72 hours will determine everything. Stay here. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because whatever Trump has been fighting to keep hidden, whatever justified a year of sealed litigation, is about to come into the light, and when it does, the consequences could be historic.